Hey everybody, welcome back to Resistance Book Club. My name is Keita, and this here will be the NetGalley wrap-up review. So let's sit back and let's get to it. Okay, so all of November, I believe this here was uh, hosted by, oh my God, I can't remember. Why am I forgetting names? The NetGalley November, as far as I believe, like Vanessa was the one who hosted it because she was the one I followed her and ended up that's how I ended up following Dusty Sniffers. Yes. So she was the one who put this whole NetGalley November together and followed the Discord, and I was on the Discord and needed to get a lot of these NetGalley arcs off my um, you know off my Kindle or in the NetGalley shelf, and I did that. It was great for that whole month of November, as well as I was reading stuff from my physical TBR stuff, books that are my physical books off of my TBR shelf, and a few Star Wars books that in between I was reading. Those will be in the different videos that y'all will see upcoming. So for right now, we're just only focusing on NetGalley. Now, the whole month of November was actually pretty cool. I really, really thoroughly enjoyed this because it really held myself accountable for these arcs, because I'm like, yo, I got to get rid of them. I was doing so good in the beginning of January, and then I fell off, and that's just because I don't have the time to really read ebooks like that. And so I figured, hey, if you can give me the audiobook, I breezed through it. And that's what I did. So ended up going on Libby and ended up putting myself on hold for a lot of the NetGalley arcs that have been out. And I promise you, the minute that November hit, all of them started just stumbling in one by one on an everyday basis in November. Now, not so much. But for some reason in November, here you go, here you go, here you go. Ready to borrow? Here you go, here you go. And I was like, damn, where were you before? I needed you before. But anyway, happy that I was able to get it, as well as I was able to get some on Hoopla, so I was able to utilize that. And yeah, and believe it or not, I don't think a lot of people know, but NetGalley actually do have audiobooks, for requests if that is your choosing. So, um, now the feedback ratios. Well, let me just say this: the books that I have read, let's just say it's a lot. It's a lot. I believe at the time when I had started, it was in like 47, 48% for the feedback ratio. Now we're at a 56%, and that is because I was getting approved for more arts. But what also helped was reading children's books and graphic novels and mangas. So those help because they're quick reads and you can just put in your review and then call it a day. So that actually helped. But yes, I did read or listen to a lot of audiobooks during that month of November that I was able to get. So thankfully, they came through. They came through. And yes, I submitted all of them, submitted them as I went. And uh, you submit the feedback, and I did the Goodreads review. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, and I told them in the chat, like, I'm still gonna continue because I want to, keep going with it, and because I think it's a really good way of actually building yourself up to be like a really good reviewer of books, but also to build that rapport with publishers and authors too. So yeah, I am continuing. Even now, I'm reading another ebook, and I believe I have like two other audiobooks that I have to listen to. But everything else is a lot of ebooks on my on my shelf. So I'm just gonna keep on going. I keep on going. And just keep on going. So when I said I read a lot, it's over 20. Yeah. Hey, and thankfully we wasn't in the 40 range. But I'm happy that it was, either way, that's still great. 20. I didn't think about it until I was looking, and I didn't even really. I did like two graphic, because she had the graphics on there for the NetGalley of books to be read and then books read. So my books read, I have like two of them already filled out. So, with that being said, that's 369. So that's 17 books already on there. And then I need another one to put more. I believe I will need two more to put on there. So yeah, I did really good. Really, really, really good. So of course I'm not gonna go through each one. What I probably will do is either create a short or put it at the end of this video of all the books that I read. And yeah, and then also create a short, clip it and short it for you guys so that way you can see what books that I have read. Um, yeah. So these here, these are the books that I'm going to be reviewing that have stood out to me the most. And um, again, I did read children's books, but they were great. They were great. Like there was a few I was like, oh, this is so clever. So you'll get the regular books that I have, YA, adult, and then you will also see a wrap up of children books that I have read. So because I can't forget the kids, cannot forget the kids. Okay, that's the purpose of this channel, right? So yeah. Now, with that being said, let's get to it. All right. So first one, this here I read as an ebook because this here is not coming out until March 18th, 2025. The cover was what had grabbed me, and I was like, I'm thoroughly interested in this here book. This here is called Old Sinners, and it is by Nicole Cuffey. I went ahead and did some search for a little bit, and this here is her second book. The first book, I believe, is called Dances, and it's like a ballet book, and I will be reading that. And the reason why I say that is because this here I had to give it a five. Like I really had to give it a five. So you're following Farouk Zadi, and he's a young journalist who his father had recently passed away. He's a devout, not well, he's Muslim. His father is a devout or was a devout Muslim. And he takes this opportunity to kind of like do this story that involves the cult, which they're called the Nameless. And this here was run by a guy named Odo. And apparently, Odo, he teaches his people, the 18 utterances. And that includes teachings such as the all suffering is distortion and see only beauty, that type of thing. And he stays with them for, it was supposed to be 6 weeks, but he ended up staying with them for a few months and not realizing, but he knew, no, he knew he was being seduced. And this here was so effing clever. Like, that's how you write a psychological fiction book. Like, it has movie written all over this. You know what I mean? And I always keep saying to people, it is very ambitious to be writing about cults, because cults are like, they're boring. They're boring to read. They're boring to look at. I ain't even gonna hold you. They are. They are. Unless you have another subplot, which is there is a another plot in this, or a parallel plot that's in this, you're not getting much of anywhere if you're just gonna like write about a couple. Because it's either a hit or a miss. Okay. Now, with this one here, we did have a parallel plot. And that story, man, that story just kept me going. And it was in, so the, you get the past and you get the present. And it was great. It was great because I can't even tell you, because then that'd be like kind of spoiling it. So once you get towards the end and then you see, and then you're like, oh God, but he knows. But is, did they execute, like, did she really execute this story? Yes, she did. She executed this story. I was so thoroughly entertained. It was a 5 star for me. Like, I really, really, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it, to the point where I was like, guess what? I'm gonna just go ahead and buy your other book, because that one, I believe, is like a ballet book. And I was like, I am so thoroughly enjoying ballet books nowadays. So I figured, why not read another book? And especially by this author. I love the writing of it. And oh, not only that, in the chapters too, you get like recordings, old school recordings. And come on, we're old, if we're in that particular age, so we know about recordings and stuff. And it's always good to like kind of see that every once in a while. And you get this sense of where it's going and whatnot. So I love it. I loved it. Everything about it was a 5 star. All right. So next one is Ruin Road by Lamar Giles. And this here I actually listened to. Listenership is 9 hours and 27 minutes, and it is narrated by J.D. Jackson. This here had came out in September 17th, 2024. So you're pretty much following Cade Webster. He is a standout football star at an all, I think it's like an all white school. And but he lives in a terrible neighborhood. um People know who he is. They know that he's this rising football star. And of course, he is like this one fateful night that he encounters with the police. And things just started going crazy from there. um I didn't know how I would fare out with this book. I liked it, but this here to me seemed like a step down from The Getaway. So I had to give it like a 3.5 this year. Um, I liked it, but I didn't love it. I think it's because the only thing that was just getting that was sticking with me throughout the whole book is the soul thing, and I already knew. I think I knew it from, yeah, I knew it from towards the beginning. Like there was something that was happening, and then I was like, okay, but I didn't know we were going the supernatural route. I just had a feeling like something was definitely, uh, like you could kind of pinpoint something is off with this person. Okay, let's continue on. And then sure enough, it happens. And then we get the full understanding. So, yes, the story is good. I've just seen it multiple times. It just did nothing for me. To me it felt pretty stale, and I just felt like the getaway was just like he knocked it out of the park with the getaway. Um, and this one here, I just felt like it was just a step down. And but that no, other than that, it deals with the same issues that you deal with, the racism, discrimination, the microaggression, everything that goes wrong in black neighborhoods, dealing with the cops, the social injustice, everything. All of that goes into play. But I it just fell flat to me. You know what I mean? Like so with that being said, it was an okay book for me. Okay book for me. Next one is The Davenports. More Than This. This here is book two of The Davenports. This here is by Crystal Marquise, and I actually read it. I did not listen to this. Yeah, I read this as an ebook. I couldn't believe it that I was able to read this as an ebook. Lord child. But I kept on reading. So yeah, you're still following from the first book, you're still following Ruby Tremaine, who is now newly engaged to her man. Olivia Davenport, you still following her through her social justice cause. And also, the situation that she has with Washington Dwight, and you are also following Amy Rose, who is trying to get her salon up and running. And then you have Helen Davenport and dealing with her trying to be, um, trying to bring her father's business up to the standards of adapting to the new norm, like what's going on in this new century. And I just love it. And also you are technically following John Davenport and his love for Amy Rose and Amy Rose's love for John, and also him trying to help, or not even help, but him and Helen trying to bring this new life to the carriage company, the Davenport Carriage Company, so that way their father can let them, like continue on and adapt to the new century of things. So yeah, you are following all of their paths. It's still good. It still had brought the drama, honey. There was more drama. Still in the old Chicago. I believe this here is in the 1910s. Yeah, 1910s in the summer. And you're dealing with the black elite. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I believe I had given this 4 stars or 4.5. Yeah, it's still great. It's always great. Like I love the black elite, the Chicago, the old Chicago, and just the drama of it all, like them in their dresses and everything. It's so beautiful, it's great. It still holds up. And come on man, the cover. We went from like this beautiful shimmering yellow color to now this beautiful lavender, you know what I mean? Like it's so beautiful. But yeah, love all of the characters, love following their journey. There's even more journey to come, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed all of it. The next one, Ooh, chat. I love this one. This one here is called Rani Choudhury Must Die. This here is by Adiba Jag. Oh man, I know I'm gonna butcher this. Jagardar. I hope I pronounced that right. I know I didn't. Um, so this one here, I actually had this as an audiobook, and it came out November 12th, 2024, but I was able to get the audiobook through NetGalley. This here is 8 hours and 56 minutes, and it is narrated by Chandrika Narayanan Mohan and Shibanji Kamarkar. I hope I pronounced that right. So what this is this here is a dual romance between two young women who find themselves um actually girlfriends of the same guy. So the guy is dating both of them at the same time, and they find out they one of them doesn't really like the other. So it's kind of like an enemies to lovers. No spice. No spice. Clearly, there is no spice in this. I don't know what y'all was expecting, but no spice. But I did love the banter. I did love them getting, to this point of realizing that, oh, I actually do like you. Oh, I really do like you. So you're following Megan and Ronnie. And then when they find out, things starts brewing, the feeling starts brewing between them. And also you get the understanding as to why, the same thing with parents, they want their child to be doing this or doing that, and but they want to do what they want to do, find their own path. I love that. And it's also dealing with science, like this whole science exhibition that they had to do, and find out that they had to work together to do this whole science competition. And also they deal with this boy too, and realize that he ain't really worth absolutely nothing. So yeah, 4.5 for me, and I loved it because again, no spice. It's no spice. They do share a kiss, but it's no spice. And um I just love the journey. I loved it. Everything. It was just the banter for me back and forth. Like I really did enjoy it. But then when you realize, like, the reasoning, the background of it, and then just them coming together, well done. It was well done. So yep, and you guessed it. This here is, excuse me, a lesbian romance in a way. So not in a way, but yeah, it's a lesbian romance because it's two girls that are falling for each other, and I thought it was just so cute. It was so good. It was so good. I loved it. Last one for this here is What's Eating Jackie O. This here is by Patricia Park. I listened to this. The listenership is 6 hours and 54 minutes, narrated by Ami Park. Yo, like this here, I loved it. I loved it. I gave this a 4, only because we didn't really tackle on the bigger part of this picture, which is the brother. So Jackie O is a young high school student. She is on a cooking show, or she was able to get on this cooking show. Apparently, her parents don't want her cooking; they want her to be doing other stuff that don't involve cooking. But she loves cooking, and it's just her just trying to navigate her own path again, and so yeah, she does this cooking show, but then on the side of things, like she also has a brother who's serving time in Rikers, and I wish they would have talked about that a little bit more. Also too, they have touched up on the whole Korean of family and how they are. But I just you would have like literally brought it full circle for me if y'all would have tackled this thing with the brother son, the parents tackling on their son being in Rikers, and because clearly there's some stuff that happened and they wasn't happy about it, but I just felt like they just like totally disregarded. That could be because that's how Korean parents are, and then to them it's like there is no full circle. So if that's the case, then okay, I understand that. But yeah, we just didn't get anywhere with that part. So, but other than that, it's very cute, like very good. Jokes is hilarious on there. Um, you can I can literally, when I was listening to it, I can tell like just it's made for a TV show. You know what I mean? Like it has that feel for it, and I really enjoyed it. I really, really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's the books for that. Okay, so these here will be the children's books that I have read. So the first one is Sumaya Solves the Woodpecker Problem, and this here is by Aisha Ahmed, and the illustrator is Hamna Rizwan. So this here is the girl Sumaya. She discovers a busy woodpecker in her backyard, and she's worried that the bird is going to hurt its head and neck. So she's trying to come up um, with a clever, creative invention to help protect the bird. And then, yeah, and that was it. Because you would have to read what happens at the end. This here is just so cute. I literally enjoyed it. I actually read this to my daughter, so she didn't really understand it, which is fine. Um, but the funny part, I read it to her last month, but for some reason, I think it was yesterday, she sat there and I don't know, either she was watching something that had a woodpecker on there and she said it, but she don't really remember that we have read the book. But she said, why is the bird hitting the thing? Isn't it gonna hurt its head? And so my husband was the one that had to deal with that, conversation. I was like, look at this. It was just so cute. So yeah. Um Definitely worth the read for young kids, to see, because I thought the invention of her creating something to help protect the bird was very clever. It was very clever. And I love that the parents was just there supporting her throughout. Yeah. So that one was good. Next one is The 100th Day of School with Yasmin. This here is written by Sadia Faruqi and illustrated by Debbie Ramalia. So this here is like a celebration of 100 days of learning. I did not know that this was a thing. I don't even think that we've ever done this in school. But yeah, so Yasmin is trying to figure out what to wear on her special day, and with the help of her grandparents, and then the next thing you know, she come up with this perfect idea of what to wear, and it's literally like the most precious, heartwarming thing to do, celebrating 100th day of learning, in which she wears to school. It was just beautiful. It was beautiful. I loved it. My daughter loved it. So yeah, it was really good. I just didn't know that this here was a thing. I really didn't. Um, and also too, at the end of it, it has um, it has something about like facts about 100 days. Um, but it's really cute. It's really cute. The next Next one is the Raven remix, and this here is a mashup of poll titles. Um, this here is written by Carolee Dean and illustrated by Krista Weltner. So you're following a young man and is literally told in that same rhyme pattern as the Raven, because this here is following the Edgar Allan Poe, all of his titles that he has written. If you don't have that collection, should do yourselves a favor and get it. It's literally great. I actually have it on my shelf. Like, I have the whole thing. And I actually have it as a Kindle too. So I have the physical copy and I have the Kindle copy of it. But yeah, so it's just pretty much just taking all of Poe's short stories and just kind of meshing them in and creating this whole thing of called the Raven Remix. I thought it was pretty clever. I love the illustration on it. It's really good and definitely has that kind of like eerie, you know, the eeriness of it, the creepiness, the horror type of aspects, I guess, in that sense. But yeah, definitely thoroughly enjoyed it. um, I couldn't even say anything more. Anything more. Next one is Together a Forest. Drawing connections between nature's diversity and our own. This here is written by Roz MacLean and narrated because I did listen to the audiobook. This here is narrated by Melinda Seawalk, and it will be out March 4th, 2025. So you are following Joy and her peers, and they are on a class trip. They're visiting a nearby forest, and then the excitement from Joy turns into more of an anxiety when she is asked to choose one thing in the area for a school assignment. So when she seeing her classmates like connecting with the nature, the environment, so she discovers how like each of their choices reflect the ways they relate to and interact with the world. So it includes like it's a very diverse book. It has disabilities, vibrant colors, and how the mind and the body, reacts to like certain things in the forest and stuff like that. I thought it was actually pretty interesting. I actually had to listen to it two times just to make sure I, completely understand what was going on. But yeah, nah, it's like pretty much just that's how kids see. Like kids see things completely different. The colors is different, it's more vibrant, it's more bright. Um the way they hear things is completely different. I mean, their ears is a lot more better, their eyesight is a lot more better than us as when we're adults. But yeah, I thought it was actually pretty clever. I thought it was really good. Really good. Very short, but really good, because it's a kid's book. Next one is Hungry Heart. Now this here is a graphic novel. Okay. I figured to add this in here because, I did read some graphic and, some mangas. But in this one here, this one here touched me. Hungry Heart Volume 1. This here had came out November 19, 2024 by Jim Melton. And you are following Lori. He's the white kid. He's the young food writer, and he gets his big break interviewing the heartthrob chef Orion Aji, and he idolizes Orion from when he had watched him rise to fame in that UK kitchen trials back when they were both for teens. So Orion also has a medical condition. I think it's a medical or mental illness, if you must, which is the eating. He has that issue, the bulimic. if you will. So, and it's funny because he's a food writer. So that was the interesting part. But then when they both meet, it's kind of like showing the feelings is there, it's mutual. They have more of like a good understanding, and then you really get to see like it blossom. Um, I really wouldn't say it's not an insta love at all. It's just realizing that they, if they keep going with where they are, it will blossom into something even more. And that's what I like, you know. So I really did enjoy it because you get to see him like Lori. He's not the typical, oh, I'm handsome and cute and all that other stuff. He doesn't see himself that way. And then you also have this young kid who rose to fame pretty much overnight, and he's just sitting there struggling trying to figure out this thing called life. And I think we've seen that too many times. And so to actually just sit there and say, oh, I just want to be normal and not be treated like a celebrity, is one thing. So yeah, I thought it was actually pretty cute. I thought it was cute. So yeah, those were it. So I hope you enjoy all of it. Like I said, I read a whole lot. So you will get to see. Just check it out. I think I will put it at the end of this video. So that way you can see all the other books that I've read. And let me know down in the comment section if you have read any of these. Clearly some of them that haven't come out yet, but let me know if they intrigue you or not. And that is it for this one. So yeah, we're done. We're done. We are done. I'll see you in the next one. This is the way. Peace.